Hello everyone. Hopefully we're live now and you can hear us and see everything. What we like to do before we get started is just make sure that you can see and hear everything. So if you give me a Y in the chat box, please, just so that I know you can hear and see. You should be able to see a screen saying live stream in a circle. If you do have a problem with audio or with the screen, if you use the reconnect button at the top or sometimes the bottom of your browser screen, that will normally solve the problem. But we do have a recording taking place, and that's normally perfect. So if you do have continuing problems and the reconnect button doesn't work, you may have to wait for the replay. So if you can, please shut down any applications you don't really need, mute your phone, give us your attention for 60 minutes. And if you can avoid streaming Netflix or YouTube, that will help you get a better bandwidth experience, and the video should be smoother, sound should be better, and so on. So what we're going to do is show you some techniques for beating the search engines. Now, it is easier than you think if you have the right access to good information when you understand what your true competition is. And your true competition is not necessarily as difficult as you might think. We'll show you. We're going to show you that. So it's going to be a demo, and we're going to show you how to find some untapped keyword nuggets, some great keywords where you have chances of ranking on page one more easily. And if you can rank on page one more easily for a bunch of keywords, your total traffic can be pretty awesome. And this applies to almost any topic or niche, but we'll show you a couple of examples. So we're going to try to make this last for about 60 minutes. We know you're busy. It's actually very quick and easy to do what we're going to show you the way we show you, but you can do it manually and it takes a bit longer. And if you really want to, you can do everything manually, and particularly if you're good at mathematics. So there will be time for questions, of course. They're always welcome, but if you could wait just until towards the end so we can take those questions from you. If there's something you need to know, we'll do our best to answer that for you. So we're going to be talking about ranking in the search engines and showing you why it's not necessarily as difficult as you may think if you go about it the right way. So let's just talk about these figures first before we actually show you the demo. So Josh, I've got some numbers here. These sites that are listed on the right-hand side, whose sites are they? What are they?
Those sites either are our sites right now or they were previously our sites. I think we have a couple. I think two of those we may have sold in the meantime, but we obtained the rankings before we sold them. So those are our sites.
I'd forgotten we actually sold some of these for big money, actually. So if you get a site and build it to the point where you're getting good ranking and therefore good traffic, you can actually sell that site. In fact, I had an email from a subscriber yesterday who's just sold his fitness site. Now, he worked on this about 18 months ago, and we giving some advice on how to structure it and so on and how to set up a membership. And he's just agreed a sale for that site now. So he's getting a payday because his site's got some rankings, got content and so on. Now you can see there how many rankings we've got. I'm not going to read every individual one, but there's a lot of top 10 rankings, 435, and then over 5,000 top 100 rankings. A lot of those sites have had no work on them for several years, and they've maintained top rankings. We're actually going to show you them a little bit later, and you'll see the rankings they still have. Now, if you think about that, that means that this type of ranking can stick. So the work that you do will pay off today, tomorrow, next month, next year. A ranking that will last for a week, no, nobody wants it, right? We want something that will stick around. And that's what we're going to be showing you how to do. So let's actually get straight into the live demo then. So let me just switch screens and show you, if I get the right one, just bear with me. There we go. I've got multiple screens, so it can sometimes be confusing. So this is Keyword Titan. It's a keyword research tool with all kinds of tools and facilities within it. But let me tell you how simple it is under the bonnet, under the hood. What it does is it looks at the numbers for search queries. It looks at the competition levels, how many advertisers are willing to pay. And then it crunches the numbers, a whole bunch of other numbers as well, and gives you results which tell you, is this difficult? Is it possible to rank? And so on. You can do the same yourself, but you need some raw data to work with. Let me show you the kind of raw data you need to work with. And there's a couple of places you can get them. Ahrefs is one. They allow you to look at things like backlinking, which is particularly important, as we'll demonstrate. This is just an example on their homepage where you can see the backlinks. Now, their pricing, let's have a look. So the light option, $99 a month. You can see, so you can do a bit of linking there for tracking of backlinks and so on. SEMrush, similar. Let's have a look at their pricing. They're in the same region. You can do some research on the URLs that are linking to individual sites and so on. And then the Open Site Explorer, which I think I've used my free thing for today. But let me just have a look at msn.com and see what kind of links that shows. Okay, so if I just make this a little bit smaller so you can see, hopefully, these numbers here, the links, are very important when you're calculating whether you have a shot at actually getting onto page one. And what you would do is analyze these numbers for each of the top 10 sites. We're going to do that in a moment using Keyword Titan, and I'll show you why it's relevant, because it's incredibly strange just how easy it is to rank if you choose the right target and you target the weak kid on the block. Now, there's a ton of individual options within Keyword Titan. I'm going to show you the Keyword Explorer first of all. We have a snap analysis here if you want a quick one. Let's just show you that one, but I'll show you the full keyword analysis in a second. So weight loss is a nice example because we know it's going to be well searched. But let's see if it's easy to rank for that. Everybody wants to rank for weight loss, but it's fierce competition. Now, when we look at the, this, by the way, is how much interest there is in weight loss over time. Let's just have a look over the last 90 days. Yeah, as you would expect, around Christmas and the beginning of the year, there's a spike in interest in losing weight. No big surprise there, but it's nice to be able to see that. And let's look at the trend over time. Wow, people are getting heavier, aren't they? So everybody's trying to lose weight. It's growing and growing. So this is a great keyword, but look, I've got a lot of competition. And down here, we can see that, you know, this guy, and the green background here means he's the weak kid on the block. He's got 3,000 referring domains. We'll explain what that means in a couple of minutes. And I'll keep an eye on chat in case you've got questions as well, so bear with me. So the weak guy on this particular block has 3,000 domains pointing to his site. Now that's a lot of domains, and that's very difficult to get. So this is not an easy keyword, and fierce is absolutely right. So that's not a good one. But let me show you an example of one. We'll do a keyword explorer. I'm going to do, this is a particular niche that I'm interested in, and I'm going to do a term which is Godox. Now, some of you may know what that is, some of you may not, but Godox is a manufacturer of a specialized type of camera flash gun. And it's specialized because it has wireless communication protocols, and you can do all kinds of clever things with it. And if you're really into photography, this has a lot of features that people are becoming interested in. So let's just have a look at the keywords related to that single manufacturer name. And then we'll see whether some of them are easy, some of them are difficult, and so on. Now, lots of information here. So the first thing is the number of searches. So on the top item here, 3,600. That's a good number of searches. Approximate value in terms of advertising is about 2,000 a month. The cost per click, this is a rough amount that an advertiser would pay, is about 58 cents, 60 cents. This is an indication of whether people are willing to spend money to advertise. And Josh, if people are willing to spend money on advertising, that has an impact on people with AdSense sites. So if you've got AdSense on your site and you're seeing good cost per clicks here, what does that kind of mean for the potential on your site?
Well, that means you're going to make more money with AdSense, and it also shows you that there's commercial intent, which is always a good thing. There's people spending money in that niche.
Yeah, and they're not going to spend money for long if they're losing it. So if people are spending money ongoing, there's money to be made.
Absolutely.
The next one, 2,400, again, nice search volume. It's not massive search volume, but that doesn't matter. We'll explain in a second. And this one has a bigger cost per click. Now, I happen to know why, because the nature of that particular product is more studio-based, more professional photographer-based. The person who is more likely to buy this kind of product is likely to be a more professional photographer, not an amateur just, taking snaps of the kids and so on. So that's the reason people are paying more. And also the cost of this item, if I remember rightly, it's in the $350 range, and the smaller ones are in the $100 range. So the value of a customer for this keyword, excuse me, is worth more. So I'm getting a lot of intel here that can help me to start narrowing down the keywords that may be beneficial for me to target. But I'm getting a ton of other information as well. And I can do, if I click here, I can actually research all of the keywords, or I can just look at them individually for specific numbers. But I've also got information here about the top site. And if you look on this, Godox and Amazon, they basically own this space. What that suggests is that there's room for people to come in and take over a position on page one. Because if it's the manufacturer and Amazon all dominating the top page, that tends to suggest that there's not as many independents there. And so there is room for maneuver. And we'll show you more specifically in a second. The referring domains, this is a number that's very important because this tells you the strength of your real competition. So let's have a look at the term Godox in Google, shall we? Let's see what we get. 5,777,000 websites or pages for that particular manufacturer name. That's a lot of competition. So Josh, if I were thinking about building a website or some pages around this, maybe with some affiliate links or a review or a little video review, that kind of a thing, I've got nearly 6 million people to compete with. Yeah?
You do. Not really.
No.
you have about 10 people to compete with because you don't care about all those other SERPs. You care about those top 10. That's where the traffic goes.
Absolutely. We care about page one. I don't care who's on page two. I'm not going to try and compete with him. I want to knock off somebody from page one. Can I do that? Well, let's have a look. So for this particular keyword, we'll stick with Godox for the moment, but as you can see, we have a lot of different keywords here. And even though the volume on some of them is 100 or thereabouts or lower, if I could get onto page one for each of these keywords, my cumulative traffic would be massive. So let's start by analyzing Godox. To do a full analysis, just click on the word, let Keyword Titan do the work. Now you can do this yourself because you can get the numbers and actually calculate what each of the top 10 has in terms of incoming links. You can use one of these nice expensive link back services to find out what the links are. And then you can calculate averages and so on and work it that way. Well, this is saying it's easy, which is great. So at this point I'm interested. I'm seeing an increasing trend here. So it looks like this particular keyword is becoming more popular. So a year from now, I would expect the monthly searches to be higher. And as this particular product gets better known, that would be a normal kind of thing to happen. The real interesting thing is when we look at the weak guy on the block here, because this green bar means this one is the weak position. Position 4 on page 1 has, I'm clicking too soon, has 25 referring domains to the site and 0 referring domains to the exact page. Now, Josh, we've got two sets of figures here which could confuse people. So this one, 25 domains giving a link to the site, is the important one, but this has got no referring domains to the page. So what does that actually mean? What is it saying?
It's saying that there's no links pointing to the page that's ranking in that search engine result page, and the site in general only has 25 links to it. So this would be very easy to knock off that block there.
So this may have 20 pages, it may have 100 pages, I don't know. But it's got some links to some of those pages, but not a single link to the page that is on position 4 on page 1. So that means, now you have to bear with me on this, I'm going to go slow because I want you to get this. It means the power of these links to pages other than this one, right? So it's not even pointing to this ranking page. These 25 links are giving it position 4 on page 1. Now, that's great as far as it goes. Let's just have a look at the actual page and see what it's like. So it might be interesting. So this is somebody who's set up a website to sell, and they've got various items here. These are all Godox products, as it happens. By the way, they sell them in different names. So that one is Godox, but they just rebadged the thing. That's the AD200 that I was talking about earlier. Oh, $300, I was wrong. Then they have all these big ones here. This is a shop. It's not giving any information at all. It's just you come here to buy.
That may even be an affiliate site, Eamon. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think .shop probably is, because I think Godox is, the manufacturer is Godox.com. Let's have a look at the referring domains. Now, you can do this manually by using one of these sites and putting in the URL of that Godox.shop and then looking at the links and so on. I want to see what links this has. So this is completed for me just by clicking on the 25. I click Explore Backlinks and watch what happens. Give it a couple of seconds and it's going to tell me where these links are coming from. Now, it's showing me total backlinks of 142, referring domains 25. Now, this again is a bit complex, but you can do it manually if you really wanted to. You could have 1,000 links from one website, but Google and the search engines will not treat it as 1,000 links. They don't give you multiple juice from the same website. They tend to treat it, if you get a link from a website, you get the juice. If you get 2 links, you effectively, generally speaking, I'm simplifying, but generally speaking, you're still getting one lot of juice. If you get 3 links, it's one lot of juice. That is simplifying a little bit, but essentially that's what happens. So the real figure here is 25 different sites are linking to Godox.shop. And 24 of them are different Class C. Now, I don't want to get too technical, but really what we're saying is 24 is the actual number that counts to the search engines. Now let's have a look. Zaxa Takaphoto, On Mag, DP Review. So there's a number of sites here that are linking back. And again, I've got intelligence about them, the trust score, the page trust score, and so on, what type of link it is. Is it an image link? Is it a text link? What is the anchor text? Now, this is an interesting one. So, Josh, when we say anchor text, what are we actually meaning?
That's the text that's used to link to the website. So that's important to look at. But also the page, the domain trust score is very important, because when you look at these trust score numbers, you're going to see a lot of sites that a good chunk of their backlinks are really weak backlinks. So you can really just effectively exclude a good number of them. Now, this one does happen to have quite a few. That's pretty decent trust score, 42. But a lot of times you'll see that, a majority of them are a low trust score. So you can just exclude, for the most part, below, a 10 or even a 15 is a pretty weak trust score. So that kind of reduces the number of backlinks that you're competing with. So really, ultimately, you can usually get a higher ranking than the lowest, than the weakest link with fewer backlinks, because you're going to get stronger backlinks, which we'll talk a little bit about in a little while.
So quality over quantity is going to win, and that makes sense. It's kind of an obvious thing to say, but it's something that people sometimes overlook, because they see big numbers and they get overwhelmed by everything and think, I can't do that. You can. Now, the anchor text here, so if I looked at these pages, there'd be a link somewhere that says Godox, and if I click on that, it will take me to Godox.shop. Now, when you've got anchor text, if you've got a specific keyword that you want to rank for, in the past, you would use that keyword everywhere. I mean, literally every link you ever get should say Godox. But if you look at here, well, let's actually just reorder it so it's alphabetical. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of a total of 142 say Godox. So it's a small number. And it's ranking for that term Godox. So they don't need 142, whoops, I'm going too far. They don't need 142 links saying Go Docs. And in fact, you can see here the anchor text breakdown in this chart. So the red here, available for pre-order. 26% of the links are available for pre-order. That has got nothing to do with Go Docs. This one, clicking here, 24%. This is half of the links have got nothing to do with the word Go Docs. Then Go Docs is 28% of the total. And then we've got individual small ones here. So you don't even need to do what some people would call keyword stuffing anymore. You can be very selective, and that's beneficial as well. But you need to know what your opposition is doing in order to emulate what they're doing. Because if their strategy is working, and it is, because they're on page 1, position 4, what they're doing is working. Now, the other thing we can do, and this again, when you have access to the backlinks, and again, remember you can pay for these services here and use them and look at the backlinks and so on. Go and have a look at the actual site. Let me have a look at this one. How do we get a link on here? So it may be that, let's see. It's possible that somebody's just done like a comment on a blog. Go Docs.
It's recent comments there.
Yeah, there were. So this guy has done a comment, and then we've got links here. Let's have a look. Related posts, comments, which is better. So that's, yeah. So these guys here are putting some comments on, and on some blogs you'll be able to get a link back that way. But that's just the first one in the link. Then we can have a look at the next one. Well, these are the same site, aren't they? So these are only really counting once, aren't they, Josh? These, because they're the same site.
Yeah, they count the strongest one, basically.
Yeah. DP review, that's another one where you can make comments. And you get, well, I'll show you. Let me just scroll down. And you have to register for this website, but you can make comments here. And, you can put a link in there into your member profile and that kind of thing. So that's another comment site. Joachim Liedke, let's have a look at his. This is an aggregator, so he's just, yeah, that's not even a live link anymore. And you can see the trust flow, and so it's 0. Photo tips digest, let's have a look. By the way, I should say when we're clicking on these, we don't know what we're going to see next. So if we ever get a page that's inappropriate, we apologize in advance. Okay, this is Russian language, but I guess, again, somebody has made a comment on the blog. And some of these may belong to godocs.shop. So although we're looking at 24 links, there could be 5, 6, 7 of them that actually belong to websites that are owned by godocs.shop. So you can certainly get links to yourself. You've got to be careful. You can't have them on the same hosting. That's one of the things we would talk about in training. But you can even get links for yourself. And you can buy links if you want to. Blog commenting is particularly useful, that kind of a thing. Forum profiles are good for that. But for this particular weak guy on the block, 25 in total, that's the links he got, to get him onto page 4. If we got 10 or 15 high quality links, we could probably knock him off position 4. And the reason I say that is that when we looked at his actual link profile, as Josh mentioned to you, a lot of these are quite weak. You see there's a lot of zeros here. They've got no benefit at all. That's a big chunk of them, and not giving this guy any benefit. Now, the question then is, why do they count at all? Well, if the opposition doesn't have a better profile, where the links have better trust scores and page trust scores and so on, then Google and the search engines have to take these into account because there's no alternative. So when you're seeing this kind of a link profile, we call this a link profile. This is great because it means there's not a great deal of work for you to do. Yeah. Let me just close this now. Not a great deal of work for you to do to emulate what this guy is doing. Now, he's the weakest kid on the block. There may be some others that are relatively weak. The manufacturer themselves only have 673 to the entire site and 243 to the actual ranking page. That's not actually a huge number to get a page 1, position 1 ranking. That's relatively small number. And bear in mind, some of these links may be poor quality. I'm going to show you a different keyword in a second. Yeah,
I think just looking at that backlink profile, I bet you could rank with just a handful. A lot of long tail keywords, especially, but even not just the super long tail keywords, but even some moderately competitive keywords. A lot of them you'll find have really a majority of the backlinks are low quality. So whenever you see the weakest link and you see that number of backlinks, don't think, well, I have to get more than that. Think I can probably rank with far less than that, but you just you get used to what numbers you see, and it will help you to determine how easy or hard it is. If you see 50 backlinks, 100 backlinks, you can rank for that term most likely.
Now, we've got the backlinks here. Let's have a look at this. So this little table here gives us a summary of the kind of quality of the links that godocs.com is getting, so we can see very quickly, have I got any chance at all? Excuse me. So what I'm seeing is that the vast majority have a low trust score. Right? 11 to 20 is low, 21 to 30 is low. They got a couple with middling trust score, and then a few with reasonable. So we're looking at 18 with a reasonable trust score, 24, 26. So we're looking at 26 links have a decent trust score. Right? These 0 to 10, they're not really doing anything. That 157. I do not have to get 245 was it? I can't remember the number. 253 links. I can do it by looking for the quality links, and I can see which the quality links are. DP Review is the site we looked at a moment ago where you can register and comment and so on, so that's fine. I don't know App Shop, but that's another one we could look at. That's got a good trust score. Lighting Rumors, The Globe. Many of these you'd be able to get links on by making comments, suitable comments. And by the way, when we say suitable comments, we don't mean spam. So can we just clarify that if you add value to a website, you're more likely to get a link that will be of benefit to you. If you go on, put on a stupid comment that has no value to anybody, just to try and get a link, the website owner will probably know what you're doing. So instead of wasting a minute trying to spam them, benefit from 3 or 4 minutes adding some kind of value to their website with the discussion about the product or the technique or the service or whatever it may be. If you add value to some, yeah, please.
Sorry. Yeah, and honestly, we haven't even been doing links like that can certainly help you, especially for really long tail keywords. But offering content to a site owner in exchange for a link to your site in an about the author section at the bottom is really, really effective. Whenever we started doing that, John mentioned it to me, and he said, I've been doing this, and I already have this, this term ranked and this term ranked, and I thought, people still do that? It was like a 10-year-old, but it works very, very well. Those rankings that Eamon showed you earlier in the webinar came almost entirely from that type of backlink. So you can get a very strong many very strong backlinks. Just reaching out to to content sites, bloggers in your niche, in your general niche. It doesn't have to be super long tail. It doesn't have to be your direct competitors. Just in your niche, offer them just a free, unique article that no one else has the right to publish in exchange for a link to your site, and it really works. You'll get a lot of links.
It's surprising, and people are time poor, and they want good content on their website. I mean, if you were to offer a good quality article for free to somebody and just say, give me an author's bio with a link back to my site, honestly, you'd be surprised how many people will say yes. It's not going to be 100%. But remember, you don't need a ton of links if you're looking at the right kind of thing. So
you can pay $10 for an article like that. We did that. We paid for most of the articles that we got links for, $10.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who has a website, particularly a hobbyist website, is going to be short on time and money, generally speaking. And if somebody offers them something that makes their life easier and adds to their website, that's very tempting for them. And of course, you've got to approach it the right way. Try to make sure you're adding value for them. You've got to think about the other person. The people who want to spam and do as little as possible, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We've got a question. I'm going to let you answer this one, Josh. It's an interesting one. It's from, I think it's Iram or Wyram. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to say your name. I thought keyword marketing was done, gone, dead, buried, kaput.
Well, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the idea that, as long as people are going to Google and doing searches, it's not gone, dead, kaput. There's billions of dollars being made through the search engine. So absolutely not. Probably just about everyone on this call right now has used Google or Bing in the last week, if not in the last day. So no, it's not in any way, shape, or form.
Search is growing. What is dead and gone is irrelevant search results. So if you have a website with thin content that doesn't answer the question of your site visitor, that doesn't add any value to anybody, first of all, even if you can fool Google, the guy who lands on your website is going to disappear double quick. Because when people want information, if they land somewhere that gives them the information, they will do what we call consuming the information. And then by establishing the credibility of your site with that information, you get more of a chance to persuade them to click a link or subscribe or join your email list and so on. If you do not give them the information, they're not going to stick around. They don't care that you've spent 6 months building that website. They just care whether you've given them the answer. And part of the ability to give them the answer is keyword research. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second, because that's actually a second way that you would use keyword research. One is to find your competition. Can I beat this guy? Who's the weak kid on the block? A second way is to say, what do I need to answer to the people who are likely to come to my site? What are they looking for that I can answer for them? So, but you were talking about, is keyword marketing dead and gone? Let me show you. This is a website that hasn't had anything done to it for, is it 2 years or 2.5 years, Josh? I forget. It's a long time.
I forget too, but it's probably been about 2 years.
I think it's over 2 years, but let's say 2 years. So I'm going to have a look at the rankings that this site has. And I'm going to tell you about how some of the rankings were achieved. So we probably have more. In fact, let me redo that, because I might have done too small a limit.
And Eamon, if you remember, this website, John registered this website, and this website, the sole purpose of this website was to show people that Keyword Titan works. Yeah. So this isn't a website that, we've marketed on the side. Now we're just using it to, this was created to show people that Keyword Titan works.
So by using the right kind of keywords, John has managed to get 1,161 rankings in the top 100. But here's even more important, 78 in the top 10. So that's page 1. Okay. So estimated search volume, nearly 200,000 a month. That's cool. But here we can actually see, now this could be my competitor. I could be exploring what my competition is doing, right? And Keyword Titan will tell me what keywords they already rank for. So cabbage rose, position 1. Cabbage rose flower. That sounds weird to me. Position 1. What is a cabbage rose? Position 1. Lots of top rankings. Look at this. Then position 2, cabbage rose plant. Now, this bit I want to explain carefully. So please listen to this part, because it's astonishing. John actually had articles created for, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, but it was for 10 specific keywords. Is that right? Was it 10?
I believe so.
10 keywords. He targeted 10 keywords. That's all. And he's now getting rankings for 1,000 plus. Most of these rankings that he's got did not come about because of anything he did in terms of linking or articles. Most of them came about because Google and the search engines could not find a better site for these specific searches. Now you can see the search volume on some of them is relatively small, 90, 30, 20. But if you've got 1,000 of these keywords giving you 20, 30 visitors a month, that adds up, right? So
if you're number one, being number one makes a big difference too.
Well, you're going to get most of the search volume there, aren't you? And and it reduces as you go down the page. But in total, thousands of keywords ranking. Now, the other thing that you can do, which John hasn't done, and let's be just blunt about this, because it was just a test site, virtually no work was put into this, and it hasn't been touched for 2 years, which is a bad thing to do. But it was just a test site, and we're all bored with it.
We still make AdSense revenue from it, I think, every day.
But let's have a look at what happens on page 2. So we've got some rankings here that are like 11 is the top of page 2 in Google, right? 320 searches a month. If we did a little bit of work for that particular keyword, we could get onto page 1. So let me just have a look at that keyword and see what we've got. Now that has spiky interest. So I guess during the growing season, that's when people are interested. And we have a weak kid on the, wow, look at these numbers. Josh, could you just explain what these numbers are again? I know we told people before, but look at that number. The weak kid on the block.
That would be crazy easy to rank for. You could rank just with a few guest posts. You could rank for that probably.
Couple of links and you're on page 1. So we could go from page 2 to page 1, no problem. But look down here, page 1. This guy hasn't got a huge number of domains either. So although we're calling this guy the weak kid on the block, there may be more than one, right? So this one, 456 and 1, that might be a little bit harder. But remember when we looked earlier, the quality of the links back to the site make a difference to how hard the job is. Let's have a look just how difficult it is for this one to knock it off its perch. So I'm going to have a look at the backlinks and see what quality we get. So I'm going to let Keyword Titan do that for me. Now we will be taking questions in a second, so I know we're getting a lot of questions at the moment, so if you please bear with us, but I just wanted to show you this. And Josh gave me an example of a great one. I've never even heard of it, but we'll show you that in a moment. So lots of backlinks here, but essentially we're looking at 448. And look at the numbers. By the time you get to the 3040s, these are starting to be reasonable trust score. So 108, 136, 141, 148. So really we're looking at 148 quality links. 148 quality links for position 7. This one, well, let's have a look. He's probably got 2 good links. No, he's got one. One reasonable trust score link. Wow. That guy is... We have 2 weak kids on the block here, and I haven't looked further up. That's a bit harder. 60... Look at this. Position 2. Position 2. Now, technically, he is the weak kid on the block, but there may be more than one weak kid on the block. Let's have a look at this one. Could we beat this one? So let's explore the links this guy's getting. And remember, if I wanted to, I could look at his website for inspiration and see what kind of information he's giving. Does he have a lot of video? Does he have a lot of graphics? Is it mainly text? Does he have AdSense? Is he selling something? I can see what my competition is doing, and I can use that to inspire me for my own website. So let's have a look here at the numbers. 16, 21, 47. So we're saying about 47 reasonable links out of the 64. 47 links. A little bit of work. You wouldn't do it in a week for sure. Now the pink. Josh, do you remember what the pink means on these?
That's no follow. So those are links that don't have that have a no follow attribute on their links, so the search engines don't count them.
Essentially no juice. So with quite a few there, we've got a block here of 5, and then so 11 is it? 14, 15, 18, 19, 20. It's about 30 are no follow. So that link profile, and remember we have a lot of information about the actual keywords they're using here. That link profile is not terribly difficult to bust. So there's one which, if we wanted to, for that specific example, we could actually go and do a little bit of work and get onto page 1. And then, as we climb up the ranks, getting some of that 320 a month to make some money. Yeah, cool. And then we get more down here. As you can see, there's a lot of page 2, position 2, and so on. Now that one, 1,000 searches a month, and we're on position 3 of page 2. Let's just have a look, just out of interest. Have we got a weak kid on the block? Oh boy, yes we have. I don't even know what tattoos is to do with that, but maybe they do tattoos of roses or something. So I'm going to very quickly have a look at the links here before we have a look at Josh's example. Wow. We're looking essentially at 21 decent links. And it's not even relevant specifically to what does a black rose mean. So, I mean, that is definitely something we could put onto page 1 with a little bit of work. So, Josh, you had an example. Let me just go to the Keyword Explorer again. And it was quite an interesting one. I'll put pigs there. So, I think it was pet mini pig, wasn't it? Which it sounds kind of funny to me. But,
I think I did a search for pet pig. It would probably come up in the same way. But if
let's do pet pig then. Yeah, that was the one
pig, then. Yeah, I think pet mini pig was one of the results, but there were a couple results in there that I think we could rank very well for. And I think my audio is I got a new headset. It's kind of a cheapo. Sometimes the cheapos are better, but I don't think that's the case. Is my audio kind of muffled?
No, it's good. Oh, it's good at this end. Right, pet pig. 22,000 people a month are looking for. Wow. Okay, I want to know more about this particular keyword. I mean, we've got a bunch of them here. Look at this. There's a lot of them.
Pet mini pig, 2,900. You got guinea pigs as pets. Those two. Guinea pigs as pets, 4,400, and I think I took a look at the backlinks to that, and I think it would be very easy to rank for several of these. I mean, you can probably go through the list and just.
I'm liking this one just to see, because I'm going to click and see what the results are. So 22,000 people searching a month, cost per click 70 cents. It's hard, it says here. Generally, it's hard. That's right. But let's have a look at a couple of things. First of all, the interest is growing. That's good. Let's have a look over the last 90 days just to see. Yeah, general trend is upwards, but that's cool. Now, where's the weak kid on the... Here we go. Weak kid on the block, position 5, 96 links. So, we've seen how to look at links. I'm not going to go there again. I want to see the actual website because that's a weird name. Adoption and placement. So, people get these pigs and then find they can't look after them and want to get rid of them. Now, that is an ugly website. That is an ugly website. Wow, that is hideous. And that's position 4. But look at this one, Potbelly Pigs. It's only a couple more links, right? Only a couple more links. So we've got the 96, the 99, and 100 mini pig info, 197. Let me have a look at this one. So, dear pig whisperers, I'm going to be honest. I think this is an awful website. It's pretty plain, isn't it? Really. I wouldn't say this is an example of a really high-end website. To be fair.
You could if you wanted to really just kill a niche, just take over a niche. You could have an authority site. You could do the strategy getting backlinks from guest posts, and you could rank for a number of these keywords easily.
Now, let's have a look at this. So, okay, let's have a look at just quickly at the links here. I just want, to have a quick look out of interest. So 88, and how many of them, let's have a look. 30 onwards, 6, 9, 17, 19 links that have any kind of trust score. We got some no follows in pink, 3, 4. Got some low ones. I mean, his profile's not massive. Now, here's an interesting thing. The keywords he's using, right, for this particular website, I'm not seeing pet pig anywhere. He's not even using his keyword to get ranked. So, Josh, let's just explore what that means for the audience, because it may not be obvious, and then we'll switch to the offer, I think. If he's not using his keyword to get that page ranked, what does that mean about the choice that Google has for showing people results for this specific keyword? Is there a massive choice available to Google, or are they having to make the best of a bad job?
Yeah, it's probably slim pickings, so to speak, as they say here. Doing a little bit of basic optimization, you could probably rank very well for it and easily overcome that competitor.
Now, here's another one which is one position higher. Issues to consider before you adopt a pet pig. That's a good, I think that's a good title. I'm not terribly impressed with the website. I would have thought personally, if you're looking about that, you want this kind of information, but you also want a ton of images to look at the pigs and, see what they look like. This is very, very text heavy. Very text heavy, isn't it? You've got a single image up at the top there and then all text. Recent post. Sorry, I'm scrolling very quickly, but let's have a look. Spring, a good time to tune up your pet pot-bellied pig. Okay, we're going to be coming to spring soon, aren't we? So that's an article that would be evergreen. So every spring, people are going to be looking for that kind of a topic, aren't they? Like people look for, what do they call that term for weight loss? Beach bodies in the summer. So, people look for beach body weight loss, and they do it the same every year. So you get an evergreen kind of refresh of traffic. So I don't like the website particularly, but, it's in position 4. So there's a couple here that we could kind of knock off their perch, and we can see that there's interest. There's a lot of searches there. Now, the other thing is all these other keywords here we can use for chapter headings, for articles. We could even think about making an ebook with chapter headings for these particular topics. Here's a good one. Where was it?
You
Baby
can also,
pigs as pets. Yeah,
you can also pile in several of these long tail keywords into one big article, one big authoritative article that's on a bit of a more general topic, and you can get multiple rankings for multiple long tail keywords based on that one page. So you can have one page that ranks for 5, 10, 15 long tail keywords. So obviously, they need to be fairly related, and it needs to make sense, but that is very possible.
Yep. Now, to show you that, here's a keyword. Here's a web page. What's it really like to have a pig as a pet? He's ranking for that. Here's the same website and the same page ranking for a different keyword. Let's have a look. Yep, same page. And he just reversed the order of words. Pig pet, that's fine. Another one here, pig as a pet. Yep, same page, ranking for a different keyword. So you got 22,000 there, 3,000 there, call it 25,000. I'm going to round these up, 30,000, 30,500. Just from a couple of keywords on the same web page. That's astonishing. Yeah.
We just hit the 50-minute mark, so just wanted to let you know. We have a lot of questions. I think
should we take the questions? Let me actually make the offer for people before we do that, because we're going to take question time after this for a moment to give you more time to take the offer. So Keyword Titan is now available on a monthly subscription for $97 a month. I'm going to level with you. We actually kept Keyword Titan for ourselves, for our competitive advantage for a long time. We had internal discussions. Sometimes they were heated about whether we should allow other people to use it. But anyway, we've decided that, it's not going to be available to everybody forever, but we're going to make it available from time to time. Keep the numbers sensible, because the competitive advantage is one we'd like to keep for ourselves. So it's $97 a month. And that's, as you see, compared with the kind of pricing plans for just a backlink strategy. You can see that the value is pretty good, right? But we're going to give you a special discount. So you can lock in a $30 discount and pay $67 a month right now. So we're going to give you, as part of the deal, 50,000 additional credits, and that's worth $60. Now, additional credits only get used if you run out of regular credits, and your regular credits are refreshed every month. They were 100,000 credits every month, but we've actually just doubled those. So you will now be getting 200,000 credits every month to do your searching or rank tracking and competition analysis. You'll also be getting in this offer 50,000 additional credits. That's worth $60 as a one-off. And if you use them, that's fine. If you don't use them, they will sit there for you forever until you need them. So if you're doing a particularly big research project 1 month, you can use your additional credits if you run out of your regular credits. You probably will find that you won't run out of regular credits anyway, but you have 50,000 additional credits just in case. With the $60 of the 50,000 additional credits and a discount of $30, it's locked in, remember. So the $30 discount is every month. You will only pay $67 each month. It's locked in for you as long as you stay a member. So you do have to act now. What we're going to do is put on screen, if you're watching the replay, you'll see a link below, but on screen you'll see an offer. It should be on the right-hand side, and there's a special coupon code that we're going to give you. Just bear with me 1 second. I apologize, I was having a bit of a cough there. So on screen, if you're watching the replay, you will see a coupon code right now that you will use to get your discount and lock it in. We've got some questions which we'll come up to in a moment. I just want to leave the code and the page for a couple of seconds. So let's just switch now to questions, and just bear with me a couple of seconds. So at this point, if you have any questions, please ask them. We're going to have a look at the chat box. I know there'll be some in there that we might have missed. So let's have a look.
We have, I scrolled down to the bottom there, Eamon. I think
okay.
We had a couple people asking if it was going to be recorded. And
yes.
It is.
Yep. I'm just scrolling.
Existing users. Okay. Existing users, more credits maybe. So yes, existing users get the double credits. Everyone gets the double credits. So we're going from 100,000 to 200,000, but there's no bonus on top of that for existing users.
And I should say that the next time you get the refresh is when you'll get your 200,000. So if you're in the middle of a month, when that expires, you'll get the 200,000. A couple of questions about people who are Prosperity members. That's not changing. So that's exactly the same as it was before. Glenn is asking where's the sign-up page. So I'll give you that direct, Glenn. It was on screen a second ago, but I'll show you it on screen in a moment. It's prosperative.com/weboffer. I've put it in the chat. So I'll put that in the chat again for everybody. Let's have a look. A couple of people were having a problem with the video. Okay, I apologize for that, but there is a replay. Okay, you should start using it, Loretta. Yes, you should.
April Joyce was, she mentioned that you're in the UK.
Yes.
And if we're searching for the US market, then it might not be accurate. No, this is a web-based app. So it searches where the servers are, and the servers are US based.
Yeah, and there's a drop-down box so that when you're doing a search, you can actually say which country you want to search for. So, you just choose whichever country you want. And an interesting thing that we found every time we've done this is that sometimes websites rank even if they're not in the country that you're searching on. And that tends to indicate that there is very little choice for the search engines. So they're just finding whichever websites they can with the information. So you can sometimes get cross-country search engine results for suitable keywords. And you can find those keywords by starting with a niche and then sort of drilling down and exploring related keywords and so on. So let's have a look. So, okay. Can I choose all of them? Hayat was asking, can you choose all of the keywords? Well, you could. I don't know if I would necessarily do that. I mean, you've got to have time to create content and so on. And if you remember the example we showed you for cabbageroses.net, John had, he wrote a couple of articles, then he paid for several articles. He had 10 articles created, and he's ranking for thousands of keywords now. You couldn't possibly do thousands of articles, not easily anyway.
If he happened to have meant analyzing the competition or the competition analyzer, you can select the whole page there and analyze the competition if that happens to be what he meant.
Yeah. Now, Cheryl is asking, how would you do some work for a specific keyword, and how do you link to that keyword only? Well, the first thing, let's just have a look at the Keyword Explorer again, and let's do weight loss. It's as good as any. So weight loss is one I was looking at earlier, and we've got various keywords here. In fact, let me just do general term weight loss.
While you're searching for that, I'll answer another question quickly. Can you download those reports? Yes, you can download all the data.
So how would you do work for a specific keyword? Well, the first thing I'd look at is, the interest and then what the competition is doing. and particularly the weak kid on the block. Let's have a look at his ranking page. So this is...
Eamon, did you mean to share your screen? Or?
Oh, I did, didn't I? Sorry. Let me just do that now. So what I've done is I've done an analysis of weight loss, just as an example. And then I want to see the weak kid on the block and see what he's doing. And this is the website. So this is, you know, a good looking site, but there's lots and lots on the front page here, and nothing specifically about that very focused keyword weight loss. I mean, there's 100 tips, the best advice, that kind of a thing. So maybe I'd look at one of the others and see what they're doing. And again, I want to look at some of the sort of weaker ones. So shape.com, what have they got? Just to give me an idea. Okay, so this is focused. It's about weight loss. Do you want to lose weight? We've got some diet plans, videos, success stories. Okay, so that one looks like it would be a good example. So for this particular keyword, I would then do a little bit more research and come up with an article that explores weight loss. And if you think about how big a topic weight loss is, you need to choose something to focus on. Are you going to talk about weight loss for men over 50, for women, for pregnant women, for teenagers, for people recovering from illness? You've got to start, narrowing down a little bit and then write an article about that specific keyword. And remember, you can get a ton of ideas here. So we've got juicing for weight loss. It's quite interesting. So if your topic is weight loss, you might start by the general discussion. Weight loss is something that many people want to do, and it seems to be more and more relevant to us because of everyday lifestyle. More and more of us are putting on weight, and if you look at the demographics, obesity is actually a worldwide problem now. So when you want to look at weight loss, there are several ways to do it. There are crash diets, there are fad diets, there are sustained diets, there are diet pills, there's surgical intervention. One of the ways that seems to be successful for many people is juicing for weight loss. And then you start talking about juicing. Does that make sense, Cheryl, where you would work for a specific keyword and then sort of expand on that topic? Essentially, you're answering the question of the person who's searching that term. Now, the other part of, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
As far as just analyzing, just getting the, the quick analysis, just at the very top left of Keyword Titan, you have the snap analysis. So you can enter in a keyword or a domain there, and you can select the country, hit that button, and you're going to get the info on that. So that's keyword-based or domain-based.
So that's a quick one, juicing for weight loss, 10,000 a month. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of people searching. Interest is up and down, for sure, but let's have a look at the weak kid. 50, he's weak, okay? We can kick this guy off that position. Another one here, we can kick this one off. Okay, we got 3 positions we can go for here. Yeah, that may be a bit harder. Yeah, but we've got 3 nice weak kids on the block here for juicing for weight loss. Now, this actually is a compound keyword because it's also got the generic keyword as well. Yeah. So, I've got a great question we'll come to next. So that's cool. So hopefully that answers your question, Cheryl, but it's essentially thinking about the needs of the person coming to your website. And if you focus on that, you can't go far wrong. So Jeffrey's saying, okay, is there any training that's a bit more beginnerish? Because when he listens to us, he feels like we're in the major leagues and he's playing single A ball. And then he's translated into UK for me, which is Premier League and Football League too. So thanks for that, Jeffrey. Yes, we do training on a regular basis, and there's help files, which I forgot to mention here. So when you click on this, you get a video explaining how to use the tools. But essentially, and this is something that's straightforward, you start with whatever your main topic is. So mine was Godox, Mini Pig was Josh's, or Pet Pig was it actually?
Mini Pig.
Pet Mini Pig. And then just have a look at what comes up and start looking at the information. Okay, so we've got a snap analysis going on. I'm seeing a nice number there. Okay, there are no domains available for that specific keyword, but that's okay. Interest is steady, and I go straight to the green one and have a look at the numbers, and I'm seeing that I've got a chance to rank for this. At this point, I'm already convinced that I can make sites and get some links that will get me ranking for that keyword. And with this sort of number of searches, and, relatively low cost per click, but I could get some AdSense on there and build on that.
And
now,
Eamon,
the other thing we can do...
I'm sorry. I just want to mention, he was asking about a small, simplistic way. We also have the wizard. Actually,
yes.
That reason, quickly and easy to find keywords.
So the search engine
primary keyword, go through it real simple and easy.
Yeah. Now, you do have to put a domain in there. I'm going to use card games, not the pig, but this is showing me my competition. So I would have actually set up the minipiginfo.com, but, so next step, what's my target market? Pet mini pig, was it? I keep forgetting. Mini pigs. Okay, and I'm looking for money keywords or long tail keywords. Make your choice. And let's go for 50 results. What this is going to do is all the analysis for me. And okay, so there's no particular keywords for that target market. So let's do long tail keywords and see if we can get anything there. And it's going to do a bunch of research for me based on the domains it finds, the link profile it finds, and so on. It's kind of doing the analysis for me and just giving me some examples at the end. So these are suggested keywords that I could rank for. Mini pig pets. That's a good one. I like that one. That's a good question. Anybody who's thinking about that seems to me like it's a fair question. I know it's only 90 searches a month, but you add up each of these that you could rank for. And remember, you can get bonus rankings for keywords you haven't even used. Each of these adds up. So we're looking at pet mini pigs, buy one as a pet, mini pig. I've got to look at this one because that's just so weird. Mini pig pillow pet. I don't even know what that means.
No, I think that's a kind of a pillow, I think. That
I see. Okay. That's kind of... do they make good pets? Again, so there's a bunch of keywords there to give me a start. And once I've got a couple of pages going, I can start expanding from there. So there's... April's just making it. Wow, that's a good comment. Let me just share that with the room because that's interesting. So April used Keyword Titan today to find a competitor that has 409 backlinks. That sounds a lot, but only 29 referring domains. And of all those links, only 7 had a reasonable trust score. So she's already on page 4, and she hasn't even started the SEO campaign yet to get to page 1. So she's happy, big smiles. So her backlink profile doesn't have to be massive to get onto page 1. So let's have a look. Why is there no info online on this 2-year-old keyword software? We haven't been selling it, Patrick. We've kept it private. Josh answers you previously, but yeah, we did want to keep it totally private, but we had a warm discussion about it. So can we show a couple more examples of keyword research? We've just done that, Mike. Okay. Maria's saying she's tried to purchase, but did you use the special coupon code that we gave you, Maria? Because when you put that in, there's a box that says show coupon. You have to actually click on apply. Let me just show you that because that might be interesting to show people. So this is where you're going, prosperative.com, web offer. Okay. And when you go there, that will take you to the checkout page. And then in here, you click on have a coupon. You're going to apply the coupon. I'll put it on screen on the recording so you can see that. And then when you put that in, a link will appear here. So let me just put you must click on apply so that the price drops. Okay? So you've got to remember to click apply. So it might be that you just didn't click on have coupon and apply. So that's all you need to do, Maria. So let's have a look. The monthly credits, no, they don't roll over. So you get 100,000 normally, but we're doubling them now. So you get 200,000 a month. Use them within that month. Can we search for non-English keywords French as an example? Patrick, if you give me a French word, if you put it in the chat box, I'll do a search for you and you can have a look. I think it will if there are those keywords in a specific country. So we'll do a French. I'll put it in Godox as an example. So we'll do it in French. So if you give me a French keyword, Patrick, Mark is asking for his original question answered. I'm not sure what that was, Mark. It's probably a long way down the screen. If you want to repeat it, I'll have a look. Nelly, if you're struggling for login, you will have access, I think. Yes. Okay. Can you add to a saved list? Yes, you can. Here's a good one from Channel. If you have a keyword on page 3 or 4, if you're ranking on page 3 or 4, how do you target that keyword to get it to page 1? That's a great question. Josh, if we have let's say page 3. So we've got a keyword that's already ranking on page 3. What would we do to try and rank it on page 1? I'm thinking the first thing we would do is have a look at what's ranking on page 1 and have a look at their linking profile. Would that be a good starting point?
Well, the very first thing I would do is look at the page that is on page 3. Look at your page that is ranking on page 3 and see how relevant it is to the keyword. You may be able to tweak the page a little bit, make it a little more relevant, the title tag particularly, to get it up there. Then, take a look at the backlinks of the competitors, and just like you would rank for anything else, just get a few more links. And again, those articles that you send to content sites in your niche are very powerful.
And it may be that the article itself isn't as full as the ones on page 1, so I'd have a look at those as well. Remember, you can see what's on page 1. And you might find that the average article on page 1 is 800 words. You might have a 200-word article or a 300-word article. You might find that there are videos on the page 1 websites. You might want to make a little video. It might be that they're media rich. So you can actually compare what other people are doing and then emulate it. I don't mean copy exactly, don't copy their articles, but if their articles are very media rich, if they have stylized headings, bold or italics or whatever, have a look at what's going on with your competition, because it will give you a clue what you should be doing.
And by the way, Eamon,
yeah.
I'm sorry, you mentioned videos, and we're talking about ranking. We just did a webinar, I guess a few weeks ago, where we talked about how easy it is to get top 10 rankings with YouTube live videos. So just scheduling a live event in YouTube, which is very quick and very easy. Of course, we have a tool that does that for you, Instant Video Wizard, but you can do that in your YouTube account as well. And that's a really easy way to get top 10 rankings. Now, it's not for your site, it's for a video on YouTube, but it's still a very easy way to get top 10 rankings. And it works. We've got a lot of rankings with it.
Yeah, it's a great way to get rankings, and particularly if you use something like Instant Video Wizard, which makes it very quick to make videos, very, very quick. And then the live stream events in YouTube, you can get rankings very fast. And the quality of a link from a YouTube channel is pretty high because Google owns YouTube. They like themselves. I mean, it's a bit unfair, but hey, they've got the monopoly, so they can do it. So, it's quite possible to add some oomph to your pages that other people are not doing at this point. And it doesn't have to take hours and hours, Remember, we're targeting the weakest kid on the block. We're targeting niches and keywords that are already easier to rank for. Now, look, if you want to use Keyword Titan and look for difficult keywords like weight loss, okay, sure, you can do that. But honestly, why not make life easier for yourself, right? There's no point making life difficult if you can make life easy. If you've got a big team behind you and you can get millions of links at the drop of a hat and so on, sure, you can go for really ultra-competitive keywords. But most of us don't have that. So, Patrick keeps asking for French. I'm trying to see if there's a French word that is put in there, but we're having to scroll. What's a French word? I'm trying to think of no, that doesn't make sense for you, does it? What would be a good?
And Eamon, while you brainstorm that, I just want to quickly, just kind of a high-level overview of Keyword Titan. We've talked a whole lot about the Keyword Explorer, which really is kind of the, I guess, the center, so to speak, of Keyword Keyword Titan, but there is a whole lot more to Keyword Titan. Has, the domain dashboard that you see by default when you load Keyword Titan that you've seen. That gives you a snap analysis of all your domains. You can put all your websites in there. There's no limit. You get as many as you want to put in there. Put all your domains in there. You get a snapshot of it. You get all kinds of important data. We have a Google ranking rank tracker inside there, Rank Explorer and a rank tracker. So a Rank Explorer finds keywords that you're ranking for that you might not even known about. So you don't have to insert the keywords; it finds them for you. And then the rank tracker is a different type of ranking tool. You enter the keywords and it tracks them for you. You have some nice graphs you can download, etc. You have Google Suggest, Yahoo Suggests, YouTube Suggests, a tool that pulls all those suggestions, so you can find all kinds of keywords that the other tool may not find. All kinds of power in Keyword Titan. That's why we've kept this to ourselves for so long. This is a massive enterprise level app that we've previously just used for ourselves, and now we're releasing it to the public. So this is a very, very, very powerful tool.
So I showed you the rank tracker a moment ago that Josh mentioned. I'm showing you the Rank Explorer now. What this is telling me, and I've used YouTube as an example because we were talking about video. This is telling me the keywords that site is ranking for already. Now, this could be my competitor. So if I'm doing a website about these Godox flashes that I mentioned at the very beginning, I know I've got competitors. I could have a look at their website and see what keywords they're ranking for, what position they have, how many searches that keyword has. Right, and I can go through. I can download this, by the way, if I wanted to, as an Excel spreadsheet and so on, and then I can analyze it in more detail on my computer. But look, so we'd expect YouTube to rank for the word YouTube, but let's have a look if there's anything unusual. That's an unusual spelling. Jake Paul, I don't know who that is, but a lot of searches there. Hello, motherless. Logan Paul has been in the news because he was a bit silly recently with his videos. How to make slime. I think that's been a big thing recently, but 823,000 people a month. Let me just have a look at that because I wonder if we could rank for that. So that's given me an idea that I never thought of before. Just by looking at what does YouTube already rank for. And if it's ranking for that and there's that big a search, it means people are interested, right? So, okay, it's on a downward trend, but let's see if we've got a weak kid. Yes, we do. Weak kid on the block. So there's one, a weak kid, relatively weak. Let's have a look. Yeah, so there's a couple that are relatively weak. This one, how to make slime. I don't know if parents would be very happy about that, but, how to make the perfect slime.
We've already been there. I have a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Okay, right.
We went through that.
Video. Look, there we go. A video showing you how to make slime, which I don't know what. And then that's a glitter slime. So these are great images. I mean, this is a nice media rich. And I think if you're going to be making slime, I guess people would want to, see it. So it's an interesting one. And with a weak kid on the block. And what did we say? 823,000 searches a month. That's worth some money. Zootopia is a film. Thrift store. Big searches. I'm going to have a quick look. I know we've got any other questions we need to answer. Okay. I've got a French phrase. Let me have a look at that. Cool. Any other questions we need to answer, Josh, while I'm going to have a look at a French keyword?
I'm looking through them right now. I'll let you know.
Cool. So let's do France. I'll just put it in my Godox list for now. So bijoux en argent, jewelry in silver. So let's explore keywords. I want to look at related keywords, and I'm going to do an expanded search. So let's just see what we get. So it's going to take a few seconds because it's doing an expanded full search, and we'll see. We've got a few examples here. Salad niçoise, vacances.
Nellie Messer asked, how do you name your niche site when .com, .net, and .org are taken? My phone's ringing. I have the ringer off, but it's just messing me up here. You can go. You don't have to go with a keyword-rich domain. Can you hear that ringer? I'm sorry.
I can't hear it. No.
Okay, good. It's just me then. then you want to go. You don't have to go with a a keyword-rich domain. The benefit to having a keyword-rich domain is that you can generally get away with a higher percentage of anchor text with your backlinks. So an exact match domain, an EMD is what that's called. But you don't have to do that. You can come up with whatever you want. Don't spend too much time. Don't be too anxious about that. Just come up with something that sounds nice, that's fairly short. You don't want a super long domain. And you could just, whatever your keyword is, and then put HQ for headquarters, for instance. Just come up with things like you can combine words. We like to combine words for domains.
Yep.
We get a lot of nice domains in that way. So.
Honestly, I wouldn't worry about getting an exact domain. It's not something that's relevant because, there are 10 websites on page one. Most of them won't be these domains. And quite often you will find that their particular domain name isn't a specific keyword. It may be similar, but if they can get on page one without an exact match domain, that means you can as well. Josh, can you find the question from Mark? Because he keeps asking why we're not answering, but I don't know what his question was. While I'm looking at this French example for Patrick, and we've got a weak kid on the block, another weak kid on the block, that's three.
Mark's asking if we have a special offer for the annual. No, the annual is in itself discounted.
No, there isn't, I'm afraid. So Patrick, we've got an example here for Bijou Agent. 4,400 searches. Trend looks okay, and we've got some weak kids on the block here. So let's have a quick look at his referring domains, just out of interest, see if he's got any good ones. Whoa, no, he's got one good quality link. And we can see where, look at this. I bet he owns this one, the guy. All the same domain. That's not counting. Look at the trust score. Nothing. That one, that is a weak kid on the block. But we've got some other keywords as well that came in here. So we're showing the example of France. French term, searching in France, Google. Bijou, so gold. Femme agent, silver woman, I don't know. Cheap jewelry, 1,300 cheap silver jewelry. Let's have a look at that one just out of interest. I think we've got another weak kid on the block here, haven't we? 52, 247. Yeah, we've got a couple of weak kids on the block for that one, so that's another keyword. Let's see what else. Fancy silver, jewelry, site of silver. And you can see there's a lot here. I mean, there's a great deal here. But the results here depend on what the search engines have. So for some phrases, you may not get a great deal back, but for many you will. What was the other one? I think there was one other example. I'll just have a look at that while we're talking about that. I'm not sure that the single-term ordinateur computer is a particularly, it's a bit generic, I would have thought, but so let's explore I'll just explore the related keywords and do a normal search on this. Computer is a very, very generic term. I mean, I think that would be quite difficult to rank for, but you might find some related keywords. Go ahead.
We have a question about a guarantee. We do have a 30-day guarantee on Keyword Titan, so try it. See the power that we're showing you. If you're not satisfied for some reason, you can always put in a ticket and get a refund. Wow,
201,000 for a laptop portable computer. I've got to have a look at that one just because the numbers are just. Oh, hang on, cheap. It's 40,000. Let's have a look at this one. So it's fierce competition officially. Good interest, and let's have a look. When does it spike? Yeah, Christmas, of course. And have we got a weak kid? Relatively weak. Probably a bit more, number of domains than I would want, but it's okay. Then we've got this big one up here. Let's have a quick look. So in other words, what I'm doing now is just to show you how quickly you can find out whether a keyword is going to be of any use to you. You look for the weak kid on the block. Again, that's probably a bit higher than I would want. I would actually look at the domains just to see how many really are giving him juice. But that's probably a little bit higher than I would want to be targeting myself. But then look at, this is a big keyword, a big keyword. Asus portable computers, that's probably, I would guess, slightly less competitive. Oh, whoa, wow, no. The weak kid's got a lot on here, 1.5 thousand. But you see, what was that, 5 seconds? So I can actually exclude the ones that are going to be too difficult, and then focus on the ones that are going to be easy. So it doesn't take long at all. And that's just starting with a single keyword, which is a very competitive keyword. And then I'm just working my way down the list and seeing, and as this is in French, I wouldn't really do this one myself. I'd be doing English, but you can see. Now, if you put your own domains in here or your competitors, you get a quick preview that tells you the rank, how many keywords it ranks for. So this example, card games, ranks for 24,000. That's a lot of keywords, right? I'll just show you the first 1,000 actually. And this guy, he owns page one. We've shown this one before, haven't we, Josh? But he completely owns page one. Now, we've run over by 30 minutes. I did promise you 60 minutes. I apologize. We wanted to answer your questions. Hayat keeps saying, please answer me. What's the question?
Yeah, I've answered. He's asking how to pay. I responded, Hayat, and I also commented, left a comment for everyone, the link
at the top
to
of the
order.
thing, yeah.
As well as the coupon. It's also plastered at the top of the chat screen, which everyone should be able to see there.
So look at this guy with search volume of 16 million a month, estimated traffic nearly 2 million. Look at the number of keywords he ranks for. This guy, and his site is not particularly, let's have a look. Yeah, nothing particularly brilliant there, is there? It just found something and worked it. Let me show you where you go. You go to prosperative.com web offer. I'll show you up here. You can see. And that will take you to the checkout page. And then the code that we've given you, which is in the chat box, you must click here where it says have a coupon. You get a box to put your code in, and then click the word apply. So that's where you go to order. So what we're going to do is just give a couple of minutes to allow for any further questions, and then we'll finish.
And Eamon, let me just do a few call outs here, just to call out a few people who have ordered. We have a lot of orders rolling in here. I'm going to refresh the screen. Every time I refresh it, there's quite a few more. So people are taking us up on the offer. They're seeing the value, the huge discount. And again, it is we're offering it monthly. We've never offered it monthly before. We just opened it up to the public not long ago. There was no monthly offer. Now there's a monthly offer. So now you can get it for a much cheaper on a monthly level. And then we're discounting it down to $67 until Sunday. And then on top of that, we're doubling the number of credits that you get to do searches and to do everything that you need to do in Keyword Titan. And on top of that, we're giving you extra bonus credit. So anyway, Leslie Leftly ordered just now. Richard Kuth, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name. I always do. David Johnson, Mary Gachagswe. I'm sorry. Gachagwe. I'm sorry. Kevin Scott, Nut Brenna, and I recognize him. Maria Williams, Michael Alicia, Carl Friedman, Merv Haas. We have quite a few more. I'm waiting for the page to load, but we appreciate that. I think you're really going to like this. Put into the action the things that we've gone over today.
So at the moment, we've only shown you some of the features. The main thing to take away from this, if you want to do this manually, you can. You need to look at the backlinks profile of the top 10 sites so that you can work out whether they are actually weak kids on the block that you can knock off their perch. So although you might have a keyword search that has 5,000 websites or pages as your potential competition, you're really only interested in the top 10. And when you look at what their backlink profile is, that's what's giving them their dues. And then, you can determine from that whether you have a shot at getting onto page one. And if you don't, move on to the next keyword, maybe do a long tail keyword if necessary. But when you find one that has a good kind of combination of cost per click, competition, advertising level, and ability to rank, those are the ones you want to focus on, and then build from there. Because, seriously, why make it harder than it needs to be? It's hard enough already, but if you go for the weak kids, I know that sounds bad, but if you go for the weak kids, you have a chance of ranking not just for your keyword that you choose, but also for free bonus keywords that Google will throw at you. That's what they've done with CabbageRosie.net, Ballet for Adults. Josh mentioned, and I did forget about this, a couple of the sites that we managed to rank, John actually sold them. And I know previously when he was on the last time we did this, he was okay with us mentioning that one of the sites, and there was a service associated with it, actually sold for high six figures. Because part of that was the ranking for the keywords that he achieved, because the ranking gave the site value. And the ranking was sticking. So, the potential buyer at that point said, let me see. We proved it to his satisfaction. Here's your check. Thank you very much.
Well, those rankings were bringing in new customers on a daily basis.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Those rankings were converting into actual revenue.
And I'm glad John's not on the call today because he's actually elsewhere. But I happen to know that their particular site, their customer base has grown because the rankings are still there. And if he were to sell it today, he'd probably be looking at asking double what he got for it because the rankings have continued to grow that user base, which is not bad. But, when you sell, you sell. So if they get benefit later, it's too late. But it was a great deal because of the rankings. So you can even make sites that you can sell on. So any final questions?
Nope. I would just say that this is a great time to hit on just SEO in general. It seems like just in the internet marketing space these days, there's a lack of interest. It used to be total opposite. SEO used to be everything. Google was everything. But since the last few big updates, it seems like Google has effectively really filtered out a lot of people in the IM industry. So that just opens it up for those who still want to do it. And I'm telling you, it is not hard to get rankings. It's easy. If anything, it's easier than it has been for many years. So I would encourage people to get on. This is the tool that you need to get top rankings.
I will mention just quickly, because Michael's raised the point, the 50,000 additional credits that you will be getting have to be added manually for you, so they won't be showing until sometime tomorrow. So don't worry, they're going to be in there, but we've got to do it manually. And one final question, where do you get the wizard? The SEO wizard is up at the top left here, as you can see. You click on that, and you get a little box where you start asking some questions, answering questions, and you'll be able to get some advice from the wizard. But then when you're used to it, you can get into the serious stuff here. And wherever you see this kind of little white triangle on a red background, there's a little training video for you. So thank you very much, everybody. I think we've actually gone over quite a while, 35 minutes longer than we said. Any final points for you to come up with, Josh, to mention?
No, just get on board and use this. Obviously we're in the industry. We sell software, but this is an in the trenches tool. We've used this to get many top 10 rankings. You can too. It is the tool that we use, and we hope you will too. It really does work.
Thanks very much. We'll see you next time. Bye now.